Yeah. The waterfalls and stuff yesterday. It's cool, man.
Every camp, people ask where you're at and if there's always the same thing, you know, at whatever certain week you're at, but it's not. It's different depending on what foundation you have and what you're needing to build on, and we have a really strong foundation right now. So we've started incorporating more power endurance.
Yes, that's 1, 2, there you go, 3, good, 4 from the ground up, 5.
At this time, and that's basically what we're doing today. We're gonna do some power endurance and do some rotational stability stuff toward the end and some core, and like I said before, work their asses off.
That's it, Nima, yeah. And when you pull back, dig into the ring. Dig into the ring. Dig, yes.
But it's not a lot of work. Does that make sense? As far as time.
And dig at the last ones. Go real slow on the last ones, deep ones. Dig. Wait.
Good.
Into the wall and catching it. You're hitting the ball into the wall and stopping for a moment. It's
Okay.
two more.
Maybe you did 12.
Поехали. Расслабляй.
We already know each other, and I'm in a new phase. I didn't lose before, but now I want a revenge.
Let's go. Let's go. Power. 10. Come on. 3 more. 4. Yes. 5. 6.
How confident were you that you won?
Even someone say it's close fight or something, I feel I win this fight.
After the vicious and memorable encounter that both fighters had last year in October, which resulted in Beterbiev's triumph, Bivol is gearing up at the training camp to get his revenge. Meanwhile, Bivol's promoter and longtime ally, Hearn, has come out in full support of this fight, stating that this will most definitely be a night to remember as two of the greatest fighters of this era step inside the ring once again to settle the ongoing discord. Labeling this fight and the card as the most extravagant event ever in the history of boxing, Hearn emphasized that along with this main event, all the cards and fights on February 22nd are outstanding, as they all include the slight fighters from respective weight classes.
What another card. I mean, how many times have I said to all the members of the media, this is the card of the year. Well, this isn't the card of the year. It's not even the card of the decade. This is unequivocally the greatest fight card we have ever seen in the sport. Sometimes you have a great main event and you put some big names on, but you don't put the big names on from top to bottom in 50-50 fights. Just a breathtaking card, by far the strongest Riyadh season card, because it's a great place to be, but to witness, as I said, the greatest spectacle in the history of boxing, top to bottom, the greatest fight card. From our respect for the Matchroom.
During this supposed conference, Eddie once again reiterated his sentiments regarding the decision of the last fight, stating that even though he was aware that the fight was extremely close and both fighters showed tremendously hears, there was no doubt in his mind that the winner that day was none other than Dmitry Bivol, who was robbed of his victory due to biased scoring done by the judges. However optimistic about this second endeavor, Eddie stated that this time around both he and Bivol are fully prepared to rewrite the results and ensure that the deserving fighter gets the crown of the undefeated and undisputed king of the light heavyweight division.
And of course the main event, Dmitry Bivol against Artur Beterbiev. We were all lucky to be there. Probably one of the best fights I've seen up close. Two of the greatest fighters of our generation. And for me, in a close fight, the man to my left should be sitting here as undisputed champion right now. When we got in that ring, I believe both teams knew there was only one winner in that fight. And now it's time to put it right on February 22nd. Respect to both. Respect to Turki Al-Sheikh for making this fight happen again. The undisputed light heavyweight championship of the world, one of the best fights in the sport on the greatest card in the history of sport.
Sharing his views on how this fight will most probably turn out, Eddie stated that after looking at the last fight, especially in the middle rounds, it is clear that Bivol could have asserted himself more, which would have made the fight go completely in his favor. But even regardless of that, he did manage to outshine Beterbiev according to many experts. Eddie also added that there is a huge chance that this time around Beterbiev will be a lot more active and on the offense side, which will make the fight even harder for Bivol, but still, according to the promoter, there is no chance that the fight will have a dramatic ending, like a knockout, based on how both fighters are going to give everything they have got to stay till the end.
But it was a close fight. You know, I think the problem with Dmitry was the championship rounds, which I think Beterbiev won, and that made it, in my opinion, a close fight. But I still had Dmitry winning the fight. I think we were just talking on the stage with Frank. I think Beterbiev's going to come out faster this time because he didn't manage to get hold of Bivol till later in the fight, and he started a little bit slow, but I think this time he's going to come out fast, and Dmitry's going to have to be very active, very smart. But it's another fight. No one's going to win this fight by a landslide. It's going to be another brilliant fight between two generational greats.
Now, although Eddie maintained a rather diplomatic approach regarding this upcoming rematch, he did resort to certain statements that show his undying support for his fighter. Participating in a lighthearted game, Eddie chose Bivol as the winner of this rematch based on his superior attributes, mainly composed of his immaculate footwork, his speed, his esteemed and unique Soviet style of fighting, and his boxing intellect. Along with showering his fighter with all the praise, Eddie did admit that in terms of having power and experience, Beterbiev will always have a solid edge against his opponents, because not only is the fighter a beast capable of dropping everyone down with little to no effort, but also because after being in the ring with such a variety of adversaries, Beterbiev is extremely knowledgeable.
Okay, here we go. Power, Beterbiev. Jab, Bivol. Speed, Bivol. Defense, Bivol. Footwork, Bivol. Chin, Bivol. Ring IQ, Bivol. Simple.
Expressing the same sentiments as his fellow promoter and business partner, Frank Warren stated that throughout his involvement in the sport, and after being involved in some of the biggest events throughout the decades, this upcoming fight card with Bivol and Beterbiev rematch as the major event is quite unprecedented in boxing, based on how it is not every day that the diehard fans get to see two of the best light heavyweight fighters duel it out once more under the extravagant banner of the game-changing Riyadh season.
Well, I said to you at the time, you know, when the Riyadh season was announced, when HE got involved, this is going to be a game changer. But even I didn't realise what a game changer it's going to be. And I mean, this card on the 22nd is something special, Ali. When you look at it, I mean, every fight on there is a magnificent fight. I mean, I've never seen a card like it. It's so spectacular.
Frank also emphasized the fact that even though there is a huge ongoing dispute regarding the results of the first bout, one aspect that seems to have united all the fans is the extravagance of this upcoming event, which will not only provide them with a huge chance at entertainment and an event that they will never forget, but this fight will also give them the closure that they have been looking for since the first time these two titans of the light heavyweight division clashed with one another.
Well, it's a great fight. The best two light heavyweights in the world. Last time round, it was an excellent fight. They displayed all their skills. It's a rematch.
Moreover, after looking at all the reactions from the community and the growing air of anticipation among the fans, the fighters are laboring away at the training camp, making sure that this time around they leave no stone unturned. Bivol, who not only faced the first and biggest defeat of his professional boxing career, but also lost all his highly coveted title belts, recently released a clip on social media showcasing his relentless and brutal training for the battle that awaits him.
Let's go. Let's go. Power. Power. 10. Good. Come on. 3 more. 4. Yes. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. One more. 10. Yes. Nice. And kick it. Let's go. Yes, brother. Good. Yes, sir. Right off the way.
fighter who is eminent for his exemplary fighting style and pristine footwork has been participating in strenuous conditioning and training regimes that will allow him to get into the best shape in his career and will also pave the way for him to overcome any obstacles that he might face during the second meeting with his arch nemesis. Now, although Bivol is an excellent fighter who has a remarkable ability to discern his opponent's next move, in his last fight with Beterbiev, he appeared a little under pressure, especially in the middle rounds, which according to his coaches and his promoter, Eddie allowed Beterbiev to get his footing in the game. Ensuring that this does not happen once again, Bivol has also been partaking in grueling sparring sessions to make sure that he is able to hold his guard while simultaneously punching Beterbiev to the back, which will not only restrict his movements in the ring, but it will also make sure that Bivol has the upper hand from the very beginning to the end.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, good. Yeah, baby. Yo. To the front. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
While expressing his thoughts on this upcoming rematch, the Russian fighter emphasized that even though the first loss was brutal and the days that followed it were nothing but agonizing, he is not going to blame anyone but himself, because after looking at his performance, he thinks that he could have done so much better and could have gotten an edge, but did not manage to do so. Adding on, Bivol stated that all these factors are a source of motivation for him to do better, and that these past shortcomings fuel him, making him believe that this time around he is going to make sure that he enters the ring on February 22nd with high spirits and a positive outlook, because this fight is going to be a chance at redemption for him, and he is not going to let it go to waste, no matter what happens or what stands in his path.
What was it like tasting defeat for the first time?
Not nice feelings. Not nice feelings at all. I didn't push myself too much for throwing more punches.
You know, I promised myself I will not find anybody excuse. Yeah, you know, I will not find excuses for me. I will tell only that this is my fault, that that I didn't do my job 100% well. You know, that's it. It makes me more focused on the training camp to the next fight.
Divulging his game plan for this upcoming rematch, the Russian fighter emphasized that although many people believe that his performance was exceptional that night and that he lost despite doing everything right, there is still room for improvement for him, as there are no excuses at this stage, especially if he wants to etch his name as one of the greatest fighters of this generation. Looking forward to doing so much more this time around, Bivol revealed that although the base plan will remain pretty much identical to the one that he had last time, this time he will add a lot more force to his every move, especially his punches and jabs, because that is the only way he can disarm a ferocious fighter like Beterbiev.
I didn't think about that it could be fight of the year, or I'm thinking about different things. That I didn't win, I have to work more, and I have to mark my name in the history. I need to work more, because I have this potential inside of me. I just need to do everything what I did, but more punches, more heavy punches, everything more and better.
Talking about the tremendous power and ferocity of his opponents, in his interview, Bivol emphasized that after looking at Beterbiev's previous fights and getting a chance to share the ring with him, he has come to the conclusion that he has never faced such a beastly fighter before, who not only has superb power for his age, but also seems to have this unmatched intellect that manages to catch you off guard from the very beginning of the fight. Comparing his nemesis with all his past adversaries, like the famed Mexican king Canelo Alvarez, Bivol stated that even though Canelo Canelo is also a hard hitter, his approach is quite different to that of Beterbiev's, who seems to have this ability to generate immense power to his punches out of nowhere and without tiring himself out.
Is he the hardest puncher that you faced?
He generally his strongest one.
Yeah.
I told before that, just as an example, Pascal also could hard punch. Canelo also could hard punch, but they put a lot of efforts to punch hard. For him, less efforts and hard punch.
Vowing that he will get his revenge this time around, Bivol vehemently claims that this time he will not be beaten down by anyone, even if they are as phenomena of a fighter as Beterbiev. During his interview, one crucial aspect that Bivol highlighted was that at this stage in his career, he has all the fame and money that he needs, so he has no need to fight for these things, while on the other hand, he does need to make a grand legacy for himself, and for that he must take down his old demons like Beterbiev by not only taking his revenge for the first loss, but also acquiring all his belts back from him, along with getting the coveted title of undisputed champion.
So we already know each other, and I'm in a new phase. I didn't lose before, but now I want a revenge, and I see where 100% should be improved.
The part about my dream, it's become a little bit smaller, to be honest, and now I have another feeling. Say I want a rematch. I want to close this subject with this opponent. I want to win him, and it's this wishes to win him. I think not less than to be undisputed.
Revenge?
Yeah.
With all these emotions that are running rampant inside Bivol's head ahead of this rematch, there seems to be the opposite going on the other side with Beterbiev, who based on his countless recent interviews and public meetings appears to be rather relaxed and composed about this rematch. Talking about his plans and the way he might approach this rematch, Beterbiev stated that even though his last performance was exemplary and led to his victory, he still thinks there are certain things that can be amped up and made better. However, choosing not to reveal these certain changes to the general public, Beterbiev thinks that this upcoming fight will very much conclude in the similar manner to the last one.
My feeling is good. Like, I mean, it's good to have fight like short time, like not bad.
If you fought that same fight again, that you'd beat Dmitry Bivol?
I will. What our team, like, we changed some things, some different things, like, you know, and we can tell you.
He thinks he won the first fight. Are you going to change an awful lot, or is it just small changes in this fight that you need to do?
We need change enough for win, you know.
Beterbiev also stated that even though he thinks that Bivol is an immaculate fighter who has various tremendous attributes and skills, in the last fight he did not manage to surprise him in any way, as people might think, because utilizing everything that he had learned in the training camp, along with all the experience he had garnered over the years, he was able to counter any attacks that the Russian fighter threw his way. Keeping these factors in mind, Beterbiev once again reiterated his thoughts on how, regardless of what a small majority might think and all the false propaganda they might try to spread, he won that fight fair and square, and just to get even, he will make sure that he gets the same result again.
You weren't sure either way. How confident were you that you won?
Even someone say it's close fight or something, I feel I win this fight.
Do you believe in this fight you'll be able to get to him with a little bit more pressure that you can force a stoppage?
We'll see. I don't know. I can't say that. He did not surprise me. Like, he did not surprise me. Like, but he did good job. Like, you know.
Did you feel like it was close when you went to the scorecards, or did you feel like it was more comfortable in your favour?
I feel I win this fight.
Now, what Artur might have tried to allude to here is the fact that after his marvelous win against Bivol, who was being labeled as the upper dog and the clear winner, many people, including a vast majority of Bivol's fans, started to perpetuate this idea that the only reason that Bivol lost and Artur won was due to some foul play being involved, because there was no other way that a fight this close was decided in favor of someone like Beterbiev, who did not maintain a steady pace throughout the fight and allegedly failed to find his footing in the game. game, especially in the earlier rounds where Bivol very clearly outclassed him at every step. On the other hand, choosing to ignore these incessant claims and skepticism directed at the past fights, Beterbiev highlighted the fact that even though he believes that he will also win this rematch based on all the preparation that he has done since the first bout, there is no surety to these things when it comes to the combat sport because the whole narrative of the fight can shift after a single punch, seemingly breaking the relation between the first fight and this rematch. Artur explained that at this stage it does not matter who won the first time because this time around they both will be entering the ring with newfound passion and a rejuvenated mental state that will allow them to perform at their utmost best.
We'll see. First fight is first fight, but second one we're gonna see who's gonna happen there. You know, it's different things like mentally. You know, you need to be focused.
Looking at another perspective of things away from the fight in general, the brutal fighter expressed his delight at being a part of such an extravagant event, stating that after being a part of this industry for so long and only getting eminence after his last couple of fights, he is honored for this, getting such a chance where he not only gets to showcase his skills to a whole new audience of boxing fans both young and old, but it also paves the way for him to fulfill his dream of becoming one of the best fighters of this generation, as well as in the light heavyweight division. Adding on to this, Beterbiev also stated that this new spotlight has only made him more motivated and has pushed him to become the best version of himself that the fans will not only want to see on their screens, but will also support.
One of the biggest fights in the sport. You are representing the sport at the highest level.
Yeah. I'm honored to be part of this time, this period. You know.
You're representing the sport at the pinnacle for Riyadh season.
Yes. I like it.
Does it make you train harder?
Of course, I mean, training harder, preparing, like everything.
With this being said, there is not an ounce of doubt that this rematch will be one of the most historic moments in modern day boxing based on his immense appeal to the general public who have been yearning for countless decades to see a battle of the greats, where the elite fighters of a division go at one another for not only getting to the top by securing all the belts and titles, but also to entertain the fans who have been cheering for them since the beginning of their careers. So in the end, what are your thoughts on this rematch? Who do you think will win this time? Do you think it will be the ferocious beast who will manage to get the upper hand this time as well? Or do you think that it might be time for the Russian icon to shine once again and get back the spot that was stolen from him in a single night? Make sure to tell us about your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe to our channel.